About 2 months ago, Samsung quietly released their newest model of tablet, the Tab S10. This newest generation brings the latest and greatest performance Samsung has to offer, with moderate increases over the previous generation. With the power tablets are offering these days, it can do almost anything a laptop can do at a fraction of the weight with a streamlined OS. But the keyword here is almost. While some practical improvements have been made over the previous generations, the big question remains: can it completely replace a laptop? Right now, I do most of my work on the Windows desktop behind me. The only laptop I have is an Intel-based MacBook from about 6 years ago, which doesn't quite perform the way it used to. Seeing the announcement for the Tab S10 Plus, I decided to pick one up on release and see if this could become my new laptop. There are so many things I've absolutely loved about the experience, but as a photographer and videographer, this device had big shoes to fill. There are still times I find it falling short of what I really want it to do, but the performance out of the box has easily been a huge improvement over my old MacBook. The specs of the Tab S10 series are impressive, but numbers rarely tell the whole story. With how high-performance professional-level tablets have become, you know you're going to have a smooth experience either way. What I want to find is just where does this device fit in with daily life? Can it be a viable solution for both media consumption and professional work? With the phenomenal form factor and ease of use available in One UI, the S10 has the potential to be the only device you carry around at a fraction of the weight a laptop would be. Every year, I'm shocked by how much thinner and lighter they can make tech, and tablets specifically have been pushing this to the limit. New to the S10 generation is the anti-reflective screen coating, which is actually the same one they use on the S24, and it's pretty much unbeatable. It's the perfect device to use outside, even on a sunny day, on brightly lit public transportation, or anywhere really. While the brightness of the Plus edition is less than the Ultra, which comes in closer to the iPad, I haven't found any situation where this wasn't bright enough thanks to that anti-reflective coating. Included in the box is a USB-C to C cable, and one of the best included accessories provided by Samsung, the S Pen. The S Pen is a must-have accessory for the Tab series that unlocks so much of this device's functionality, and I love that it comes included with every flagship series tablet Samsung offers, including the SE editions. It even sits pretty securely when attached to the side of the tablet, despite how thin it is, though it only charges when attached to one particular back section. Since I picked this up from Best Buy, they were actually offering a fantastic deal on the Samsung book cover Keyboard Slim. I've actually come to really love this keyboard case and the intuitive way it securely covers the S Pen in its charging position. When it comes to the daily experience I've had with this tablet, I absolutely love the portability that it's offered and just how much less I have to think about pulling this out of my bag. With the keyboard and pen combo, you have a lightweight and incredibly ergonomic setup that really feels as portable as it is powerful. Some of that ease of use is thanks to the streamlined OS and power consumption, which allows me to always leave the device in sleep mode and still get days of battery life out of it. While many laptops can be used in a similar way, they tend to have more power consumption in sleep mode, and snappy speeds from One UI and the biometric sensor feel great. It takes mere seconds to flip this device open, press your finger into the scanner, and be instantly open in whatever app you're working from. Charging is also a breeze, with a super fast charging mode that offers a charge from 0 to 100 in just about 2 hours, and I can't say enough good things about how long the battery usually lasts. When it comes to the Android ecosystem, I've had a great experience integrating all of my other tech. Earlier this year, I made the switch to Android after being an iPhone user my entire life. It was a bit of a scary switch at first, but I've found that Android isn't as interested in forcing you into one do-it-all family, which has been refreshing. Even if your other devices are Apple, there are great app choices to bring cross-connectivity to all your devices. Samsung apps are of course flawlessly integrated across the two devices, and if you set up the tab using the Smart Switch software, you literally don't have to do anything. It transferred all of my passwords, apps, and data flawlessly. For easier synchronicity though, I've started using Google Apps since they're easily connected across all platforms, whether it's Android, Windows, iOS, Mac OS. If you have a Windows machine, however, there are some extra ways to connect, like Link to Windows, which connects your device and all of its files and photos right to your PC. You can also use your tablet as a second monitor wirelessly when connected to a Windows device, and the latency is impressive for wireless use. Casting to any device is just as quick and easy, and I haven't really found anything that would take an AirPlay connection but not SmartView, Android's version of casting software. I feel this is the most perfect device for media viewing and entertainment. That's where the Tab absolutely excels. With a screen that provides Samsung's latest AMOLED tech and the best pixel density out of any of their tablets, you're guaranteed a bright, vibrant, and beautiful image quality. Even next to my S24 Ultra, which has a great screen, I'm always impressed with how good media looks on the 12.4-inch screen, and there's not a pixel in sight if you're playing a 4K video. The 120Hz adaptive refresh rate is the cherry on top, providing buttery smooth scrolling and playback. Everything always looks and feels good. The aspect ratio has to be my favorite thing about Samsung tablets. I mean, they absolutely nailed it. With a 16:10 aspect ratio, everything fills the frame. Between your phone and this device, the way media fills the screen is seamless. Sometimes it really just feels like a massive phone in my hands, and I love that. I'm personally not a fan of the 4:3 aspect ratio provided by iPads, since it never really feels like you're getting the most out of your screen when watching videos. With 4 strong speakers in a stereo arrangement, I actually love the sound quality of this tablet. Whether I'm watching videos or listening to music, it's always more than loud enough and creates a really immersive and great experience. Videos and social media aren't the only place the Tab excels, though. This is an incredible gaming machine, and I love the wide compatibility that Android provides. This S10 generation boasts a 28% increase in GPU performance over the previous generation of S9 tablets. Native Android games are always going to run flawlessly. Cloud-based gaming from services like Xbox or Steam run as well as your internet will allow, and this machine is a beast when running emulators. This has become my favorite device to play emulators on the go, and more of them are available through the Play Store than on iOS. Controllers always connect instantly and seamlessly with surprisingly low latency. I'm actually not sure if that's some sort of specific connectivity that Android has, or if it's just because of the quality of controllers that I use. I mean, wireless here feels better than on my PC. On this controller specifically, you can actually disconnect the bridge to stretch it a little further and fit the entire tablet in it. Disclaimer, this probably isn't great for the controller, but I've seen a lot of other YouTubers imply that GameSir intentionally left the ability to do this in the design. Either way, what good is tech if you don't get the most out of it? This probably looks ridiculous to some of you, but I actually love playing this way, and since the device is so light, my arms actually don't get fatigued when playing on such a massive screen. Of course, with the price tag of the Tab S10, it would be irresponsible to only use it to play games. So productivity is the next huge area of functionality to talk about. This device can provide some seriously impressive performance and nuance when it comes to workflow. Built into One UI is their intuitive split screen and floating window features, which allow you to very easily manage up to 3 apps with one floating. With the swipe of 2 fingers from the side, you can split screen the app that you're currently using and instantly open some of your most frequently used apps. I love that when you're using a video app like YouTube, you can press the full screen button, and rather than completely covering what you're doing, it just fills the portion of the screen it's dedicated to. If you prefer floating screens, however, you can actually switch the device itself into DeX mode, which offers a more PC-like experience, opening apps in their own windows. DeX really shines when you plug the Tab into an external display, though, making this in some capacity a laptop-like experience. While I do think DeX is cool, it feels like a passion project that's fallen a bit behind the other well-polished features in One UI. Even though this comes with every flagship device that Samsung offers, they don't talk about it much, and I think this is because of that lack of polish. It just has a lot of moments that apps don't open right, and functionality of DeX doesn't feel as smooth as the native OS experience. What is impressive is that even with 4 windows open, the device doesn't seem to slow down at all. At full price, I can't really recommend them, but after using the book cover keyboard Slim, I've come to see that this is simply the best keyboard and case combo for the Tab. The magnetically attaching back holds onto the tablet strongly, and is intuitive with the way it covers the S Pen safely in its charging position while still being easy to access. Though it doesn't offer many viewing angles, the magnetic connection to the tablet means you never need to charge it, and you get latency-free performance from it. While it is a bit flexible, it still feels leagues ahead of similarly designed tablet keyboards, and it actually gives decent tactility in the typing experience. The spacing between the keys is comfortable and familiar in a way that didn't leave me making a bunch of typos when I first started using it, as some shrunken down layouts can. The downside, of course, is that it doesn't have a trackpad, though I couldn't imagine a better way to use this tablet than the S Pen. Because of the way the glass on the display is made, the S Pen pretty much draws exactly where you place the tip down. This gives it a very natural feeling and accurate experience when writing or drawing on it. With all the customizability available to users, you can really tailor the functions of the S Pen to your workflow, and the new AI features of One UI have been made to integrate seamlessly with it. I'll be honest with you, I haven't found myself using the AI functions of this tablet to their fullest, with the exception of pressing the AI button when I don't feel like typing out a question. An important element of productivity for myself is how the tab handles photography and content creation work. Tablet versions of creative apps have come a long way, with apps like Adobe Lightroom, LumaFusion, CapCut, and the Sony Creators app providing a full professional-feeling experience. With a 10 gigabit USB-C port, transferring files via an SD card reader can be super fast, even with larger file sizes. With the Files app, you can easily organize pictures and videos for your workflow. One feature the Tab S10 holds over all other tablets is the ability to expand the storage via microSD card up to 1.5 terabytes. This is great if you plan to store a lot of content on this device. If you're using any other Android devices or Windows PC, you can actually share files wirelessly with great speeds as well, which makes it so easy to share images with friends, clients, or just move them between devices. Unfortunately, where the tab falls extremely short is app availability. There's simply too great a disparity between what apps are available on iPadOS and Android. I've actually been really surprised to find out what apps are available on iPad with their almost full desktop functionality, but aren't available on Android at all. Adobe Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve, Capture One, and of course Final Cut are all industry standard editing apps that are available on iPadOS but not on Android, and that seriously impacts what workflow is possible on the tab. File compatibility is another thing that's a bit spotty on this device. When importing files from my Sony a7 IV, which records H.265 10-bit color video and ARW RAW images, the files aren't natively viewable on the device's gallery. While that could be expected, and I'm not sure it's any different on iPad, the problem extends further when trying to open them in the available editing software for Android. I wasn't able to get these video files to open in LumaFusion, which is a paid editing app that gives a layout similar to Adobe Premiere. I was able to get them to open in CapCut, though from my research it sounds like the file quality is compressed to 8-bit colors, where DaVinci Resolve on iPad preserves this quality and gives a more professional editing experience. Adobe Lightroom is able to natively edit ARW files, which is great, though if you wanted to use the tablet edition of Photoshop, you might be disappointed to find only Photoshop Express, the stripped-down tablet version of the app. I simply find too many times I feel I just can't produce my best creative work on the tab. It's become painfully obvious that when it comes to mobile content creation, Apple remains king. I feel Android just hasn't been made with creatives as closely in mind. So who does the Tab S10 series fit best? This is the perfect device for students with innovative note-taking features using the S Pen and apps that take advantage of the AI, writers who will use this device mostly for typing or handwriting, anyone who finds their work is mostly done via typing, web browsing, Google Apps, or a few other professional suites. The multitasking functionality of the tab provides a great workflow that could benefit many people's professions. Of course, if you're looking for simply an entertainment device, I think the Tab S10 is the best device you can get right now. It has the perfect aspect ratio, a beautiful vibrant display, great battery life, and an unmatched gaming experience. If you're already a part of the Android ecosystem, this device also has the benefit of seamlessly synchronizing and integrating with all of your data, text, phone calls, and a PC. Ultimately, I do love this device. It's a beautiful piece of hardware that provides an incredible experience in so many ways, with great performance and convenience. It's truly not the hardware that falls short of being able to replace a laptop, but still the OS with its limitations in app compatibility. While it brings a streamlined and quicker experience over a bulky desktop OS, there are too many times I find myself just wanting to hop on a full computer to do my work. That being said, this is still one of the best tablets you can buy right now, with a lot of deals being offered through Samsung and other retailers, especially if you have a trade-in. If you're coming from the S9 generation of tablets, this might not seem like a crazy upgrade, but if you're using anything earlier than that, I would say you'll feel the difference here. For current Android users, the integration this offers is fantastic, and for me, this was one of the major reasons I looked at the Tab. Thanks for listening to my thoughts about this device. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I've got a lot more reviews in the works coming soon. If you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe, and take care.